Is it time to create something different with your life and your body? Right Body for You will inspire you and invite you to a different way of creating the body and the life you truly desire. Ready? Let's go. Here's your host, Donnielle.
And hello, everyone. Welcome to Right Body for You. And as the voice said before me, I am your host, Donnielle. And yes, it is actually Donnielle this week. I know the past few weeks, the amazing Right Body for You facilitators have been filling in while I travel Europe doing classes. So sad I had to be in Europe for a month, which was amazing. I did a Right Body for You workshop in London and Vienna, and I was all over the place and just had a great time. And I am so grateful for the Right Body for You facilitators stepping up, having fun, and contributing. I have received so much amazing feedback that they took great care of you, had great information, and just really were the contribution that I know them to be. So I am grateful for them and grateful for all of you who shared with them and played with them, and we are seeing what we can create with all of them again in the future. So thank you for joining today, in the past, in the present, or in the future. I know how you guys do this. And thank you each week for joining us for Right Body for You, where we get to explore the possibilities with bodies. You know, not just from the how does it function and what do we do with it, how do we maintain it, but actually from the creation of it, the fun of it, the joy of it. You know, what if your body could actually be a contribution to the creation of your life instead of, well, the destruction of your life, which I know so many of us actually function from. And so today I'm really excited for this topic. Some of you may have heard of the paleo style of cooking. You know, a lot of people call it paleo diet. And we all know how I feel about the word diet. It brings up so much negative energy and just, you know, kind of sometimes just makes you want to sit in the corner and rock and cry. And so I do like how these two amazing ladies that I'm bringing on here in a minute talk about paleo, and that it's not a diet, that it's just it's a way of being with your life and really honoring your body and what it can create. So we are going to talk about paleo way of eating with Backporch Paleo, which is an amazing mother-daughter duo team. They do blogs, they do recipes, they do all sorts of fun things, and I've been fans of theirs for years. Even tried a couple of the recipes, and let me tell you, it is not what I expected. So let me introduce them both. I have with me today Michelle Daniels and Makenna Homer, mother-daughter duo of Backporch Paleo. Hello, ladies. Thank you for joining.
Hi. Hello. Hi.
Hi. Thank you guys for coming
McKenna,
on. You know what?
Yeah. McKenna used to be Daniels until just about a month ago. She is now just newly married, so her last name's different. So, but we are mother and daughter, for sure.
Yes. Oh, yes, they are. And if you guys have seen, check out the website or the Facebook post or their Backporch Paleo. You should see the photos of the two of them. Freaking adorable. They're all smiles and happy. It's like something unique in this world. So please do check it out. So what I love the topic of the show, and even how, because we talked before about, you know, paleo a little bit, and one thing that you said, Michelle, is you're like, well, it's not for cavemen, you know, and there's a lot of misconception because when I've talked with people about paleo, they're like, oh, that caveman diet thing, which I understand where some of that comes from, simply because as listeners of my radio show know, I like to look up words, and paleo actually means ancient, early, prehistoric, or primitive. So I can see where the misconception came in, but from what I've read from you guys and talked to you guys about, it's so not that. Because one of my first questions to you was, do I get to eat something more than salad or raw meat? Or, you know, like, if it's caveman, is it just raw meat? So please tell us a little bit about, for you, what paleo is and how it differs from other styles of eating.
Sure. And I don't know if maybe McKenna wants to explain kind of why we found ourselves there. because it was really kind of a health crisis that got us to that point. I don't know, McKenna, what do you want to?
I introduce people to pick. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Donnie.
No, I just thought let's talk just briefly about paleo, why it's not the caveman diet, and then we can get into you guys' amazing story of why you just started choosing it.
Okay, perfect. What? Do you want to go, McKenna, or do you want me to go?
I can go. So, to me, the paleo, I guess, diet, as people say, but more lifestyle, as I think we more come to know it as. I mean, are we wanting to break down, like, the logistics of what it is, or more as, like, what we have come to find it as?
Kind of what you guys have come to find it as. Because what you guys do with the paleo breaks the stereotypes, which is one of the reasons I wanted to have you guys on. Because you guys, definitely, it's not just you follow paleo, you be this unique invitation to listening to your body, honoring your body, and being with your body in a new way. So, yes, however it is for you guys.
All right. So a lot of misconceptions is that paleo is just very restrictive, and it's honestly very limiting and stressful. And what I think we have come to discover is that it's completely the opposite. It has opened so many more opportunities to really become one with your body and to listen to your body and how it reacts with different things and foods that you're putting into it. Because as paleo starts as kind of an elimination thing, you find out, okay, this isn't feeling good for my body when I eat it, so I'm not going to eat that. Or maybe I'm just going to give my body a break from it a while, and then I can try reintroducing it. And if my body likes it, then that's awesome. And I think, honestly, of all the different definitions of paleo, that is the best thing that we have discovered from it, is that it just creates this great connection between you and your body, and being able to have that personal experience within yourself, and being able to enjoy food, and really good food, not anything that people would think, oh, healthy food isn't yummy because, if it doesn't taste good, then it's good for your stomach. Because that's just not the case anymore. There's so much good food, and that communication with your body is just like the best part of, I think, what we've discovered through paleo as we know now.
Yeah, I agree. And it's more eating real foods, really. I mean, it's, you start with eliminating what you feel like might bother you, and then reintroducing things and seeing how you feel. And it really just goes back to eating foods that are real and unprocessed. Like, the food journey back in our grandparents used to eat, from where that was to where it is now, it's just, it's changed a lot, and that's not necessarily for the best. And that might be why it bothers certain people's, insides and their bodies, and why their bodies are like, stop. I can't tolerate that. And so you really have to listen and kind of go from there.
And I love that you said that. I think that's some of where they're getting that ancient primitive, because it's like, the lack of processed or chemical-driven food may seem like an ancient time, but it's still quite possible. And I just got back from Europe, and my body always thrives better on food in Europe, because I know there's less chemicals and processing and rigmarole that the food goes to. It's actually food. So I love that you said about real food, and that you could enjoy food. And I know McKenna said enjoy food, and I'm glad to hear that, because I know so many people think that if they change their way of eating, they become deprived or tasteless. And so I'm sure a lot of people are happy to hear both of you say, oh my gosh, this is actually yummy food, enjoy food, and to build the communication with your body, which is just friggin' fantastic. So if you guys would, there's some books out there on paleo and blogs, but you guys have a unique mother-daughter combo blog that is just so fun. To see the play you two have together is, first of all, you give hope to everybody that they can have a fun relationship with their children and parents in the first place. And then also the bonds of what families should be, of being able to like help each other contribute and change lives, starting with your own family. So if you guys would, please tell us a little bit about how you got into the paleo style of eating, why you chose this, why you didn't just wake up one day and go, hey, we're going to cut out chemicals. Well, hopefully, maybe. Anyways, please let me know. Tell us a little bit about how you guys actually started in this way of eating.
Okay. Yeah, so I can go ahead and kind of overview it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So basically, so I kind of accidentally started it. When I graduated from high school in 2013, I started just having a lot of digestive issues. Almost anything I would eat, I would just get so sick after, to the point that I was like, you know what? Eating food isn't worth it. I'm just not going to eat food, and obviously that's not a sustainable way to live. So that's a problem. So from there, through a lot of tests, we figured out that I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, which is an autoimmune disorder that affects how you absorb nutrients from food and just kind of your whole digestive tract. And so from there, it was just typical to put you on a lot of medications. And I did that because that's just, what the process was. And from there, I was on a few different types. They would kind of work, or they would work and then not after a few months. And so at a point, they were like, okay, well, we need to put you on an immune system suppressant as well as these other medications. And then, hopefully by the time you're 40, we won't have to get your colon removed, because that's pretty common. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't, I don't want to have to deal with that in my life. So
I'd like to keep my colon, please. Yes.
Exactly. Who doesn't want a colon? Because it's kind of an important one. So luckily, my mom is just a go-getter, and she was like, you know what? We cannot live like this. And so she started investigating, and we were able to find a few blogs of people who had really similar experiences with ulcerative colitis, and going to a no-grain, no processed food diet, which is more properly known as paleo, I guess, for most people. And we did that at the start of the new year, because what better time to kick off new habits than the new year? And from there, I was able, I know, exactly, and it's coming up, so it's perfect. But from there, I was able to wean myself off of these medications and essentially become without symptoms of my condition, and it has been an absolute blessing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
so just the style of eating, you were able to wean yourself off all the medications, which, as we know, medications can sometimes exacerbate and just add other fun side effects. And then you were also able to be symptom-free, which is just really, really amazing. And I love that because, on my show, I talk a lot about the energy behind things. And I love how you're talking about this. And you're like, we just did this and we live this way every day. There's no it's a trial. I wake up every day and we do this, but it's better. The excitement and the ease with it is really inspiring.
Definitely.
Yeah, we just forged ahead. There was just no turning back. We thought, we're doing this, and just took charge of it. So
I love that. Okay, we're going to take our first little break. When we come back, Michelle, I would also love to hear a little bit of how, I love that Makenna said, well, my mom's a go-getter. And I would love to hear a little bit more about how you went and got it. So after the break, I'd love to hear a little bit about how, when you heard all of this for your daughter, that you were like, no freaking way is this going to happen. And what you initially found and where you went from there, okay?
Okay, sounds great.
Okay. All right, so you are listening to Right Body For You radio show with your host, Donnielle. We're talking today with Michelle and Makenna from Backporch Paleo. You can check them out on their blog, backporchpaleo.com. A little precursor, I'm on it. Yummy recipes, check them out. So check it out during the break, and we will be right back.
The life and the body you secretly hope for is possible. Somewhere you know that, right? What if creating that body and life is not about deprivation and sacrifice? Would you be willing to choose it? What if it could be as simple as changing how you look at things? Right Body for You with Donnielle is a different kind of radio show. Each week, Donnielle invites you to you. She shares simple tools that you can use immediately to create changes in your body and your life. Something different begins now. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
What if there's nothing wrong with you? What if you're far greater than you've ever given yourself credit for? What if it's time to know the gift and the contribution you are to the world and to like yourself a lot more? Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago, I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. Asking questions opens doors to infinite possibilities. And it's not about finding the answer. It's about being the question. Always. What I'm inviting you to step into is something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Newton, Da Vinci, Gandhi, Picasso, and Aristotle all knew to be true. What if no question is too big or too small? What if anything is possible for you? What if together we could create a kinder, gentler, happier world? Is now the time? Go to beingyouclass.com and sign up for a free video series, My Gift to You. beingyouclass.com. What if you, truly being you, are the gift and change this world requires? beingyouclass.com.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. If you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back, everybody, to Right Body for You. I am your host, Donnielle. Thank you for joining us now in the past, in the present, or the future. If you would like to know more about Right Body for You, or if it's now is the time for that private session with me, please go to Donnielle.com, DONNIELLE.com, and send me a message, and we will set it up. All right, so today we're talking about something very exciting. We're talking about paleo. That is not the caveman diet that a lot of us, might have been me included, have been led to believe that it was, but it can actually be something yummy, nurturing, and McKenna uttered some of my favorite words of actually building the communication with your body instead of being at odds or at war with your body. I am joined by Backporch Paleo mother-daughter duo, Michelle and McKenna. Thank you, ladies, again for joining us today. And before the break, we were kind of getting into the story about how you guys got started on paleo, why this was something that you instituted for your whole family, actually. And McKenna was telling us a little bit about how she was diagnosed, and horror of horrors, the doctor said those words of, hopefully we won't have to remove your colon by the age of 40, which I'm sure would send any mother into a terror for her daughter. And so,
yeah.
Michelle, she said before the break that you're really go-getter, and you went and got it, and this is what it was. So please tell us a little bit about where you're coming from with this of like, holy crap, you did not just say that to my daughter, and then what you created from there that led you to Backporch Paleo.
Sure. It was several heated appointments for sure. I'm like a mother bear to the utmost, as McKenna knows, but so it was all I could do not to reach across and choke the man, anyways. We knew McKenna had some psoriasis back when she was in fourth grade, McKenna? Fifth grade? Fourth grade, I think.
Fifth grade.
Right? Fifth grade.
It was 5th grade, yeah.
In grade school. Yeah. Some really severe psoriasis on her hands and her feet and her scalp and, you know, just different areas of her body. And at that time, we did what was then called the yeast-free diet, which was eliminating refined sugars, grains. I can't even remember all the things, Makenna. Anything that had yeast in it. And so, in my mind, you know, fast forward to her being graduated from high school, I just thought after that appointment, I thought there's got to be some answers. And so I just thought what we had done back when she was younger worked for some issues on the outside of her body. Why not try that for something that's going on the inside of her body? And so we just, you know, like Makenna said, January 1st, we just turned the corner. And as I was researching and I was just on Amazon, and I don't remember why I was on Amazon, but I just happened to find a book called Against All Grain. And I thought, oh, well, we're not eating grains. What is this? And so I got the book. And so, you know, a week or so later, I was reading it, and, you know, we got it for the recipes because we thought, oh, at least there's some options. But then we found out this author had the same issue as Makenna. And so we just forged ahead and, you know, just hunkered down even more and thought, oh, there's actually support this time. And we didn't know it was called paleo. We had no idea. We were just doing what we knew had worked before. And so with that support of this one book and then a couple more books after that, we just decided, you know, this is a good place. We're here. We can do this. And it's the way her body responded made it even more doable and more motivating to just keep going. And, you know, as we got farther into it, the resources for, you know, eating the way that we need to without grains and refined sugars, there's just a lot more possibilities now than there were, you know, back when she was younger. And so it's really been able to flourish because of that.
So something you said in there that was really interesting. Go ahead.
Well, I should say, as a mom, I was not going to let her do it alone. I mean, I just knew a buddy's always easier to do something with, and so that's why we did it together. And I have felt better for it. A side effect for me, so.
Oh, darn, right?
Yeah.
So something you said in there that I found very interesting, and I know a lot of our listeners will be curious about that, is the words you said were how her body responded. So will either one of you please give more information on that? Like, was it an overnight thing, or was it, so how did the body respond that made you go, ooh, I'm going to keep doing this, versus, well, we'll see if it works?
Yeah. Makenna, you want to talk to that?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So upon January 1st, when we started, I was still, like I said, I was still taking the medications that I had been throughout the last year because I didn't want to just quit, you know, because I feared a flare-up, because those are not something you ever want to mess with. So through the process, we started, you know, cutting out all the refined things and things that could be more or less toxic to your body. And I just started noticing that after meals, because I guess I should say prior, you know, even on my medication, I would still just not feel really great after eating, which was sad because I love food and I love eating. And like when you feel sick after eating, it just really, you don't want to eat. And so after making these adjustments, I would say fairly shortly, I started to see some improvement. But the medication I was on, actually, some of the side effects of the medication are also symptoms of the disease itself. So that alone was like, wait, what? Like, why is that a thing? But I would still have some symptoms because I assumed I was on the medication still. So by the time we got to, I think it was March, I went on a spring break vacation with some of my friends, and on that trip I was like, all right, like I'm down to one pill and I'm just going to stop. And, you know, fingers crossed that I don't ruin this vacation, because that would be a bummer. But everything worked out. From there, I just continually felt better and better. I didn't feel sick. I didn't have these unpleasant symptoms, and I got to eat the best food. And I mean, physically, I think just how I felt after eating was the biggest indicator. But overall, like, I'm pretty sure I never really had too many skin problems, but like I never got zits anymore. So that's like a plus as well. But yeah, overall, it just felt like a weight off my shoulders as well, which is a mental improvement, I guess you could say.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and the fact
helps.
that you said earlier that you didn't want to eat at all, so the fact that you weren't dreading the meals anymore was a vast improvement, I would say.
Yes, that's a big one, because food is so great.
Yeah, we're kind of foodies. We kind of like food, so.
Well, and
I think within. Go ahead. Well, I was just going to say, I think, Makenna, within 2 weeks' time, there was some improvement that we saw almost immediately. And then within months, you know, as we progressed more months into it, it was, you know, you could tell, because basically by eliminating things that are irritating, you allow your body to heal on the inside, and your body's remarkable. You really, if you allow it the space to, and give it the environment by eliminating these things, it can actually go to town. It's triggered, and it does that, you know. It's wired to heal itself. And so when did you run that race, Makenna, with your friend, that you felt well enough? Was it April?
So that was actually in September, which is because at that point, like, I felt almost 100% better. Because I had very little energy. Yeah. Previously.
So it's pretty grueling. So within, you know, it's just remarkable that letting your body do its thing, you know, is just amazing. So.
Oh, absolutely. We're big fans of that here at Right Body for You. We're coming up to our next commercial break. And something that, Makenna, you said in there that I really would love to talk a little bit more about, and then I'd love to get even more into the food portion of, like, what you guys actually do eat. I love, Makenna, what you said is you were like, hey, I was on vacation and I chose to, you know, stop taking the pill then, or cut back then. And the key word there is you were on vacation and still eating this way with ease. So I know a lot of people think that will eating this way shuts down possibilities of life. And I love that you're like, oh, I was on vacation, still eating this way, no problem. So I love that. I think that gives a lot of hope to a lot of people. So we're going to take our next little break. And when we come back, I would love to talk more about the recipes, how that portion started, and what you guys do actually eat, because it's nowhere near about deprivation for you guys. I know this. And a lot of people, you know, because no. Well, no. And I know you guys have said a few times today the word elimination. And so now I would like to talk about what you guys added. So after the break, I'd love to talk about the recipes, what you guys actually added to, not just about what you took out, but what you added and how that's changed things. Okay?
Okay, sounds great.
All right. So you are listening to Right Body for You with Donnielle, with my special guests, Michelle and Makenna from Backporch Paleo. You can find them at backporchpaleo.com. Do check it out, people in the chat room are already having a great time with them and signing up for their email notifications. So what does that tell you about their website? Pretty dang amazing. And yummy. I'm just looking at this apple spice waffle photo, and I'm like, ooh, yummy. So, and that's just the first picture on the blog. So do check it out. All right, everyone, this is Donnielle. You're listening to Right Body for You on Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
The life and the body you secretly hope for is possible. Somewhere you know that, right? What if creating that body and life is not about deprivation and sacrifice? Would you be willing to choose it? What if it could be as simple as changing how you look at things? Right Body for You with Donnielle is a different kind of radio show. Each week, Donnielle invites you to you. She shares simple tools that you can use immediately to create changes in your body and your life. Something different begins now. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. If you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle at accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. I am your host, Donnielle. Thank you for joining us. You can check out all the archives on my website, Donnielle.com. Or if you want to know more about if I'm going to be in your area anytime soon doing classes or on your phone doing classes, please do check it out, Donnielle.com, DONNIELLE. And today we're talking about something kind of fun. I know some people are like, paleo, takeaway, food, what? Fun? Yes, absolutely fun and yummy. And I'm speaking with the fun, again, the word fun, but they are, we giggle. The fun mother-daughter duo from Backporch Paleo, Michelle and Makenna. Thank you, ladies, for joining us today. So before the break, we were talking about how you guys got into this journey. And Makenna was talking about how she was on vacation and eating this way. And so this segment, I really wanted you guys to talk about the food because it's not an elimination diet. It's really not, from what I've been reading and what we've spoken about. And I know you guys said, at first you eliminate some things, but I would love for you guys to talk about the recipes and the journey there and what you guys have added. I mean, just the fact that it's no grains and I'm staring at apple spice waffles on your website with your blog tells me there's something else going on there. So I'd love for you guys to talk a little bit about that, please.
Well, you bet. I don't know, Makenna, if you want to start in on this or not, but it's certainly evolved, would you say?
Yeah, you should start in.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Food's the best.
When we first, we love food. We were foodies before this, and now I think we're even more foodie now. I don't know if that was even possible, but when we first started, we did eliminate, greens, legumes, dairy, refined sugars, we pulled way back because McKenna was in a pretty severe state. So we just did, it was not a question. So, but at that time, so I think, obviously we ate everything else. Lots of roasted vegetables, meats, salads. I can't even think, McKenna, it's been so long. It just is what we do now. But but at some point that first year, I know that we reintroduced some basmati rice back into our diets because we tested it out and that was kind of okay for us, which it is a grain, but it's in terms of the gluten that's in grain is not the same. So, but what happened about a year and a half into our journey is, like I said, the trend for eating real foods has kind of caught up, and so we use what is from the yucca root, the cassava root. So we use cassava flour, and that's where we can start making recipes that we used to enjoy, like waffles. Like Donnielle, you said the apple spice waffles. I just posted that recipe yesterday, which, it replaces grain in terms of that flour,
right,
that you used to cook with. And so it kind of evolved. McKenna, do you remember the first time we tried the flour? Do you remember what we made, the very first thing?
Was it not waffles?
No, it was
maybe
tortillas.
I don't remember. Oh, yeah.
It was flour tortillas. Yeah. Because we're huge Mexican food fans. And so if you can imagine for us to give that up, because what's in Mexican food? Corn, which is a grain, so we had to eliminate that. Beans, we had to eliminate that. Flour, obviously flour tortillas. So, and cheese. So we saw all these things disappear. But with the introduction of cassava flour 2.5 years ago, we've been able to reintroduce some of those baked things that we, weren't eating on the onset of our journey because it just wasn't available. But we just had tacos last night, just make up some cassava flour tortillas and we have tacos and, we make bread, we make muffins.
I'm jumping a little ahead here, but I just want to point out that you put out your first cookbook this year, and it's all about Mexican food, paleo style.
Yeah,
and I
that's
just think
true.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we just with the introduction of amazing things like cassava flour, we've been able to remake some of our family favorites, and so what we were really wanting to bring back into our lives was Mexican food. McKenna and I love tamales, and that was a big no-no because corn is pretty big. It's a grain, number one, and it's the corn that is manufactured nowadays is so genetically modified. It's nothing close to what corn originally was, and it's pretty much just straight sugar. So the way your body uses it, is
right,
just like sugar. So so we just decided to bring it all back, right, McKenna, and just made a list of things we wanted to have again. And so the cookbook was born. It's an ebook, and so it's the download thing that you can actually, on the blog.
So they can get it on your website?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It was a huge labor of love. So
I just love that.
Anyways,
but tell us a little bit about the recipes, because not everybody who would do this would jump to, I'm going to do recipes to be able to figure this out. I know that's something unique with you. I don't cook a lot, so I'm like, how did you even start that? What led you guys to Backporch Paleo itself?
I don't know. It was a couple years in, wasn't it, McKenna? I mean, it was back in early 2015.
Yeah, I think, sorry, you can go ahead and finish.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think what ultimately drove us to do like the blog format was because I mean, I've seen so many commercials for not only ulcerative colitis, but for psoriasis that's like, hey, this medication will help manage this condition. There's no cures. And that, for me to have basically a cure, and to know that there were so many other people that were struggling with these, diseases, I guess, I think we just wanted to have the chance to possibly help someone like we had been helped, in our lives. And that ultimately is what sparked the blog. And I think creating the recipes was just our way of making our life full of the things we loved, but in a healthy way, because that way you might be eliminating things, but you're really like filling your life back with the same concepts, but having the best ingredients in them, and, in a way that it's so good for your body. And so you really don't feel deprived in that sense at all. I think that's kind of why we started.
Yeah, we
at least
wanted
from my
to give back. It was critical for us to be able to pay it forward, I think, because it helps to feel like you have a community to help you, even if it's online. And I'm here to tell you, an online community is still a community of friends. We have made some pretty amazing friends through our relationships over with our blog and our Instagram that, it's mind-blowing, but it just lends support, and you're all sharing with each other. And so it's kind of, we didn't anticipate that, I think, when we started the blog. It was just kind of a minimal way that we thought, we'll just put it out there, just to see. But I think the first big recipe that was a big hit was our pie crust 2 years ago. That was the first big recipe that went on the blog that used the cassava flour, because for Thanksgiving we make pies, and so that was then all of a sudden, here we are 2 years later, and it's beyond what we had expected, I think.
Well,
happy.
That actually leads me to one of my next questions, because we can talk a lot about the logistics of what, paleo is doing, the medical. I know you can speak to that. But I think a lot of people, with the holidays are coming up, will want to know things like, so what are your holiday meals like? Because, it's always a time for, like, sugary, yummy treats. So what are the holidays like for you guys now?
They're delicious.
Yeah. Good answer.
Well, you can make a lot of things with what nature provides in terms of sweetener, because we use honey, maple syrup, maple sugar, which is crystallized maple syrup, and coconut sugar, which comes from the sap from the coconut flour, I think. Anyways, but you can still make pretty amazing treats, mind-blowing, that are still refined sugar-free and made from real food. I mean, most of the recipes, the biggest category in a recipe is sweets, and maybe that's not good, but it is the truth. We have more sweet recipes than anything, because we like to bake, and so.
Well, and I'm just looking at just the front page of your website right now, and it has recipes for pie crust pinwheel, salted caramel pear pie, citrus holiday green beans, ginger snap muffins, pumpkin cookies with panache frosting. I hope I said that right. Cinnamon sugar donut holes, watermelon basil salad, apple butter maple collagen fat bombs. That's awesome. Cream tuna on toast, funeral potatoes, and the list just keeps going on and on and on. Mini lemon poppy seed donuts. Ooh, magic word, donuts.
Yep.
And I know some people in the chat room have already bought the Paleo, your Mexican food cookbook, so I'm excited to see that. Pass the napkins. Pass the napkins to the chef room. They want you to go cook for them. So we're going to take our last little break.
Sure.
And when we come back, we are fastly running out of time. But one word that you guys mentioned that I know is a big red flag word for people is gluten. So when we come back, if you would talk a little bit about that gluten aspect, because I know gluten's a hotbed of information right now, and about how paleo fits in with that whole gluten thing. Okay?
Okay. Sounds
All right.
good.
So you are listening to Right Body for You with Donnielle. Today we're talking with Michelle and Makenna from Backporch Paleo. Please check out their blog. I'm hungry already just looking at the photos. So who knows, maybe we can entice them to come give us a cooking demonstration in my kitchen. All right, so check it out, backporchpaleo.com. And this is Donnielle on Right Body for You on Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
The life and the body you secretly hope for is possible. Somewhere you know that, right? What if creating that body and life is not about deprivation and sacrifice? Would you be willing to choose it? What if it could be as simple as changing how you look at things? Right Body for You with Donnielle is a different kind of radio show. Each week, Donnielle invites you to you. She shares simple tools that you can use immediately to create changes in your body and your life. Something different begins now. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. If you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. This is your host, Donnielle. Thank you for joining me today. And I am joined today by Michelle and Makenna from Backporch Paleo, and we are so fastly running out of time, and I know there are lots of questions out there.
Crazy.
So yeah, I know, right? It goes like in a flash. So one thing I'd like you to talk about really quickly and briefly is the gluten aspect of this, because I know people go, oh, gluten diet, that's something. So please talk about how that gluten thing fits in with paleo.
Okay. Makenna? You, me?
Yeah, you go for it.
Okay, I'll go for it.
You're it, Michelle.
Okay, I am not a scientist at all. I'm not going to say that I understand the whole science behind gluten and, the whole science and reaction that your body has with it. But on a base level, gluten is one of the proteins in grains. And the problem with the standard American diet right now, and which is why you don't see it as much in Europe when you go travel there, in America, when you partner grains with so many of the over-processed foods, you get an imbalance of the different oil levels, the omega levels in your body. And so when you eat the grains that have the gluten, that protein gets out of whack and starts to create little fissures in your digestive tract. And then you have little things that while you're digesting food can pass through the delicate lining of your digestive tract, and that's when you start getting inflammation. So, I mean, on a very base level, that's basically it. The gluten causes what a lot of people call leaky gut because of and you'd have to have a really good microscope to see it, but it just causes little fissures, which then allow bigger molecules of digestive information to pass through that it's not supposed to be outside your digestive system. And so that's where the inflammation comes from. So when you eliminate gluten or the grains, you take that, it's just a known inflammatory inside your body because of the protein from the plant that is a natural thing in the plant to be protective of the plant. And so then it gets in your body and is very protective, and your body, it's just a fight with your body, basically. So, and we eat so much of it. There is gluten in everything. I will just say, read the labels. Read your labels.
Yes.
Read your labels.
So paleo style of eating is something somebody who's gluten intolerant could do, then, as you're saying.
Absolutely. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Keisha put in, our producer put in hashtag read the labels. Yes, exactly.
No, but really look for wheat, gluten, and sugar. It's in everything. Everything. So.
Yeah. Yes, it really is. So, all right. So thank you, ladies. I would love to know a little bit more. I know we talked about your backporchpaleo.com website a lot, but you do a lot on Instagram as well. So will you tell us a little bit about that and how to get in touch with you?
Yeah. On Instagram, we're just at Backporch Paleo, one word. Same thing on Twitter. Same thing. Our email is backporchpaleo@gmail.com. And I'm the one that's most active on Instagram. McKenna's working full-time, finishing up school. She's going to be graduating in December. Woohoo! And she just got married. She's a busy gal. And so it's still us, but I'm on Instagram most of, the day. And we post a lot on the blog. Once a week we'll make a new recipe, but on Instagram we're posting every day. So reach out. Well,
and I know I follow you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
I follow you guys, and it's always fun and amazing. You do, and I love how you do that. Pay it forward. You don't just keep it to you. You do the whole community. And I have found a lot of other amazing people through you as well. So that is one of the unique things about you guys that I'm really grateful for.
Yeah. Yeah, and McKenna just made a post in the chat room about sugars. McKenna, why don't you tell everybody what that is?
Yeah, this is something I've been living by since I was in 5th grade, because sugar, something can say, there's no sugar in it, but that just means the word sugar is not in the ingredients list, but there are so many different forms of sugar that also aren't good. So for one, there's glucose, sucrose, dextrose, and maltose, which are easy to remember because they all rhyme with gross. But there's also a lot of sugar alcohols like sorbitol and things like that might also, they're just processed sweeteners that usually don't react well with your gut. So think outside the sugar box when you're reading labels as well.
Yeah, because I think sugar
I love that.
Sugar and gluten. Sugar is an inflammatory food too, not just gluten. And there's sugar in everything, and that's why eliminating refined sugars and reading labels goes a long way, because it's hidden everywhere. Because manufacturers take real tasting food, refine them, and have to add sugar back in to make them taste good. So, anyways, there's that.
I love that. Thank you. And our amazing producer, Keisha, just said you can also scroll down on your website and click for the links. If you are, if you can only remember backporchpaleo.com, click the link, follow them. Like I said, I follow them, and apparently other people had already been following in the chat room. I love that. So thank you, ladies, for taking the time today, joining me. You guys have been amazing. This is just, I know, the tip of the iceberg. So backporchpaleo.com. Thank you. All right, so backporchpaleo.com. Check them out, Michelle and Makenna. Changing the world, one recipe, one Instagram post at a time. Yummy recipes. Thanks, everyone. So this is Donnielle, DONNIELLE.com. Make it a good week, a happy week, a yummy, fun-filled week, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Right Body for You. Donnielle will return next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you and your body will join us. Until then, have fun.